Are you a qualified accountant and want to get a promotion? So, are you in a financial controller role, in a finance manager role, and you've kind of got your eyes set on that head of finance, finance director role? If that's you, then stick around because I'm going to talk about ways that you can get that promotion and kind of demonstrate your value. So, before I go through that, I just wanted to let you know that I have a free guide that you can get now. So, it is all about leadership skills and how you can demonstrate your value, which I will be going through today anyway. So, it's probably a good thing to take a look at. So, I'll leave a link below where you just click on and then the free guide will head straight to your inbox. So there are 5 different ways that you can think about how you can get a promotion, or steps basically that you want to do in order to get that promotion. So the first one is to think about the company's values. So if you are at a company and it's the place that you want to stay to get that promotion, then you may want to think about what the company's values and missions are and whether that aligns to your values. And if they do, then potentially it's worth sticking around and thinking about staying with that company long term. When you take on leadership roles, you do tend to be in those roles minimum 2 years, ideally 3 to 4 years, if not longer. And so if the company's values aren't aligned to yours, then you may find it difficult to push ahead with the company's vision and therefore be in that leadership role. So, but if they're aligned, it's much easier to do that. So think about whether the company you're at is the company you want to stick around with. And if it is, then you can go to the next step. If not, then you may want to consider looking around for a company whose values are aligned with yours. The next step is to find ways to make that difference. And essentially, that is what I was saying about adding value and demonstrating your value to the business, not only yours, but the entire department, the finance function. So again, in that free guide, I'll go through that in a lot more detail, but essentially you want to demonstrate that you're not just in the background creating management accounts, just doing the tax filings and just following compliance. You are actually got that seat at the table to make those commercial decisions, and you're basically required to hear your point of view about the direction of the business. So if you're not doing that at the moment, then you need to think about ways that you can add that value. So finding out areas where you can add your assistance, you can help with insight, you can help with analysis, having a look at the company's goals for the year and see how you can help the company achieve them, or help the departments in order to achieve those goals. So help, you are a support function in finance. So how can you help operational to reach those goals? So if you can demonstrate your value and you can really show that you're making a difference, then that's where people, particularly the CEO, will notice you and will consider you if there's a promotion up for grabs. The next step is to discuss your goals with senior management. So HR and your boss, whether that's the CEO or an outgoing finance director, it's probably worthwhile telling them that quite early on. So before, say for example, that the finance director is leaving in 6 months' time or longer, and you kind of want their role, or even like well before that, if there isn't a role for, say, at least 2 years, it's probably definitely worthwhile speaking to HR and to your boss about what your goals are. Most of the time, if you have a good manager and a good HR director, they're actually going to help you with that career trajectory. So whether it's keeping you in mind for projects where you could develop those leadership skills, whether there's some training that they offer that they think could help you, and then also keeping you in mind for that role should it become available. The next step is to find a coach or mentor. If you had a mentor as you were trying to become a qualified accountant and you've been lucky enough to hold on to that mentor, then really reach out to them and make sure that you speak to them on a regular basis. Most of the time, they've already been on that career journey that you are currently looking for. And so they'll be able to tell you their story about how they got you and kind of help you with that. A coach will also be able to help you fill in the gaps, help you with things like imposter syndrome, or thinking about things in a different way and with a more leadership mindset rather than a management. If you don't have a coach or mentor, then we also offer courses that help you with that finance director and leadership role. So even if you haven't quite got that finance director role yet, this course is still really good for you because it gives you an understanding of what that role entails, how you can demonstrate that you have those skills for that role, or the skills that you need to learn in order to be good at that role. And then finally, it's just defining your next step. So you'd need to think about what you need, what gaps you have that you need to fill, whether you need to, who you need to speak to, and essentially create an action plan for yourself. So rather than thinking, oh, I'd love this job, I'd love this job, I'd love to have this job. If you actually have an action plan of things you need to learn, people you need to speak to, and ways that you could demonstrate your value, then you just go through your action plan one step at a time, and then hopefully you'll be able to get to where you want to. So that's all the steps that you need in order to get that promotion. If you want to better understand how you can demonstrate your value in a leadership role or to get that leadership role, then I highly recommend going to fastgrowthconsulting.com and signing up for that free guide, and that'll get straight to your inbox. Anyway, I hope you found that useful, and I will chat to you next week.